Are you like this player, banging your head against the wall out of frustration because you just can't find enough gems to unlock the skins you want? Do you have hundreds of worlds where you just gave up after finding 2 gems? Well, in this video, I'll be sharing with you the 5 things that I constantly remind myself of to help me find gems quickly in Worlds FRVR. Some of you may already do these, but even I get so caught up in trying to find a gem that I forget to do one of these steps, and it can lead to 30 minutes or more just searching for a single gem. Number 1, use the Waygates. Many of the contest worlds have multiple Waygate locations that will help you navigate the world quickly. My recommendation is for you to open up the Waygate list before even trying to look for gems, and then teleporting to each of them in sequence to get an idea of where they will take you. You may find some gems immediately just by doing this. Later on, when you are searching in more detail, you may have the thought, I think I've searched everywhere here. I'd like to try looking in the main temple again. Instead of having to run all the way back, you already know that there is a Waygate that takes you back to the front steps. Waygates also sometimes take you to locations that are inaccessible by foot. In this case, it is extremely important that you don't forget the Waygates exist, or you'll be spending a lot of time looking for a gem that just isn't there. Number 2, use the photo view. This tip is a little bit cheeky and they may prevent this in the future, but if you click the share menu button at the top right of your screen and then click take photo, this will create an invisible character that will have the ability to fly around the world. I would also recommend going into this view whenever you log into a world to get a good idea of the scale and layout. Another really cool feature about the photo mode is that you can change the time of day. If we change the time of day to night, the gems will be more visible because they emit light. Keep in mind that the invisible character can only fly as far as your view distance, so if the build is quite large, you may need to reposition your original character to explore the areas that are farther away. If you are able to spot a gem with the photo view, return to your original character and then start making your way to that gem. Now this may feel like cheating, but keep in mind that the majority of the old build contest worlds had flight enabled. The no flying requirement for build contests was added later on, and although I don't know the true reasons for this addition, my best guess would be that it was put in place to encourage players to build worlds that focused on the experience of walking, thereby preparing people for the future direction of the game, Lost Frontier. Number 3, take a step back. What I mean by this is that gems are generally spread out from each other. One of the largest and most impressive build contest entries to date is Edelweiss Kingdom. For a gem hunter though, bigger worlds aren't always the best. But anyway, let's take a look at an aerial view and define some main areas. We can see here that we have the docks, which is where we spawned, a farm, a small castle, some training grounds, the main castle, and a library. 95% of the time, there will be no more than 1 gem in each of these sectioned off areas, especially in a large world like this one. We have 6 different sections in this case, and it turns out that these were the locations of the 5 gems. Another great example of this is in A.T. Gray's world called the Time Cube. By looking at the aerial view here, we can see that the world is clearly split into 5 different sections. This is the exact number as the amount of gems in each world. Now, if you just said to yourself, I bet there is 1 gem in each of these sections, you'd be right. Here are the locations of the gems in this world. However, this idea of the gems being spread out isn't always the case. For example, in a parkour world like Synergy, the players are encouraged to complete the level. Therefore, the gems will be spaced along the main parkour route instead of being put into the corners of the map. Number 4, look for patterns. There are certain types of objects on which gems are typically hidden, and knowing to look out for these will save you a lot of time. Some of these objects that I've noticed include the seat of a throne, behind a throne, behind a sign, on a helicopter pad, on top of a bed, inside a volcano, beneath a waterfall, inside a trophy, And I could go on. But the point is, remember the types of places you have seen gems in the past, and if you see another place that looks very similar, check to see if it has been hidden in that type of place again. Number 5, gem videos. Sometimes you just can't find a gem. You have spent over 30 minutes trying to find the last one, and it just isn't fun anymore. And the whole point of playing these games is to have fun, and at the end of the day, that is truly what matters. So if you can't find a gem, just search up one of my videos on YouTube that show all the gem locations. Now, I said at the beginning that these were tips I personally used. Why would I watch my own videos? I have to already know where all the gems are, right? Well, I have multiple accounts to do various recording projects with, whether it be a short story, build time-lapse, etc. And it's nice to have gems on those accounts to have access to the various skins. There are approximately 1,465 gems as of the publishing of this video, and trust me, I'm no Rain Man. I've forgotten most of them. So I will refer back to my own videos to help me find any gems that I'm having trouble finding again. If you made it this far, thank you. It really means a lot to me, and if you felt like these tips were helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help me out. If there are any tips that you use when finding gems, please share it with everyone else in the comments, as I'm sure they would love to know.